Was inside the program like Marty Smith. Coming up here, top of the hour, Kentucky on the road taking on Vanderbilt. That is De'Aaron Fox, point guard for the Cats, second in the country with more than 8 points a game in transition. Look for Kentucky to get out and run. Big night of college hoops. Number 1 Baylor on the road against West Virginia. You'll see all those highlights coming up later tonight, but stick around for this game right now here on ESPN.
Welcome to the Infinity College Basketball Tip-Off. You are looking live at Memorial Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. It's SEC College Basketball. Kentucky favored to win it again against Vanderbilt, a team that shocked the Wildcats here a year ago. Good evening and welcome, everybody. I'm Brett Musburger. Pleasure to be with you, along with my partner, Sean Farnham. We're also going to be hearing from Kaylee Harbaugh. Like most of you, we watched last night, and what a great game and a comeback by Clemson. What does that have to do with tonight? Well, everything. John Calipari woke up this morning and he said, I've got to deliver the message to my players, Sean. That's where we want to be, right where Clemson was. We want to cut down the nets at the championship.
They want to finish with their 9th national championship. Lots of stars to talk about, including this one right here. Excited to have you here on Super Tuesday in the SEC. But when you look at Kentucky, you start with their guard play. And one of the brightest stars this young college basketball season, if you've been watching football, you've been missing Malik Monk. He can have a highlight in a moment's notice. You give an open seam, he'll get up into the rim. He's an elite level athlete. Over the last 10 games, averaging 24 points per contest. But he doesn't need to score to make it a highlight. This was from back in November against ASU. A beautiful Odell Beckham one-handed pass to facilitate the offense for his teammate. And then, of course, stars make big plays in big moments. None bigger than this one. The best game of the college basketball season so far. The dagger 3. And, of course, in that game, partner, 47 points for the freshman.
Oh, that was sweet, wasn't it? That game, of course, was played out at the new arena in Las Vegas. And so we really look forward to seeing Malik Monk. And we look forward to seeing what Vanderbilt, the underdog, comes up with at home. You've been watching the Infinity Tip-Off. Now let's take a look as coaches compete for a charity of their choice in the Infinity Coaches Charity Challenge. Presented by CenturyLink, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. There's no building like this one. And for more on that, let's go to Kaylee Harbaugh.
Well, Brent, here in the oldest gym in the SEC, Memorial Gym, some unfamiliar logistics for a lot of Kentucky freshmen playing here for the first time. Now, until last year, coaches couldn't leave this baseline where their benches are. Now you'll see them walk up to 15 feet along the sideline to coach their teams. Now, with that young team, John Calipari made a point of stressing to his players in their pregame meal today the importance of his team's communication. He said, when we are in timeouts, you guys better be locked in. When anybody's shooting free throws, another good time to look back to the bench for communication. Pay particular attention in the second half when Kentucky's defending the far end of the court from their bench.
Thank you, Haley. Orlandis Poole is our crew chief. Joe Lindsay, Ron Groover worked with him, and Vandy will have the first possession. What sort of an offense do you look for from Vanderbilt tonight, Sean?
A ton of threes. It's what they need to do to be victorious tonight. They need to hit above 18 threes. That's the number in my head. They're going to try to space out Kentucky and force them to defend on the perimeter.
Kentucky keeping them right there as the crowd starts to count the clock down, and they missed their first long ball, but there's contact in underneath, and Fox was wrapped up with a Vandy player, and you can take a look at it. Fortunately, it doesn't appear as though anybody was injured.
He's going for the box out underneath, just slid underneath them, but a rare offensive rebound and a second chance point opportunity for Vanderbilt. And then not a great rebounding team. They have a minus almost 4 margin of rebound on the season.
Out of bounds. Kentucky basketball.
I think on this first possession, you look to try to get Bam Adebayo underneath and try to get him to bury the defense and get an easy 2.
Interestingly, because they practiced the play, and Calipari said in practice today, this is our opening play. That wasn't the look that they wanted right there, but they will settle for the jump shot to start the game. Gabriel from the wing
what Kentucky does a nice job against the zone is they get the ball in the middle of the floor. It forces the back line of the defense to have to make a read, and then they look to swing it into the short corner.
3 ball. Misses again and into Fox's hands. Fox is one of the great floor leaders on this team. Weaves his way through, left-handed layup. And right away he picks up in the backcourt a little token pressure and then retreats. And that big man is pretty good, Luke Cornett for Vandy. You want to keep an eye on number 3. He does have range, and here he is putting it on the deck. And a whistle down away. So as close to the action here is John Calipari. Won each of his first 3 conference games, folks, by at least 20. This team is averaging, well, close to 100 points in conference play so far. I mean, they are a point a second to watch sometimes. Skying for that ball is Fisher Davis. He's the ringleader of this team. And back down comes Fox. He's penetrated once, but they cut him off. Foul against Vandy.
And Briscoe was looking for Gabriel, who was sneaking along the backside.
And there is Bryce Drew. And Sean, what a story. We've got his brother, the coach at Baylor. They're number 1. They're playing West Virginia over on ESPN2. His dad, Homer Drew, who, of course, coached Bryce at Valparaiso, is here tonight. There's the first Kentucky 3. Malik Monk knocks it down. Remember, he leads the SEC in scoring, almost 22 points a game.
So much talk coming out of high school that Malik Monk was a streaky 3-point shooter. I think it was the quality of shot that he took at the high school level and how it's changed. And now the cleaner, better looks that he's getting at Kentucky, the efficiency has gone up.
Another 3 off the iron. They're going to have trouble if they don't start knocking them down. They're 0 for their first 4.
Well, the problem with Vanderbilt is they have absolutely nobody that can post up. Even Luke Cornett is not a great post-up player. He'll post up when they have mismatches, like when Malik Monk was guarding him. But outside of that, everything's going to be perimeter-oriented. So if they don't hit the shots, this is going to get ugly quick.
Nolan Kressler is the first sub for Vanderbilt, and wide open, and there was no defense. You mentioned it. That is the play. Adebayo, nicknamed Bam, 6'10", 260.
So explosive, just another opportunity to slam it home.
So while Vanderbilt can't buy a hoop, Kentucky starts out perfectly. Shooting foul, and coming to the line will be Jeff Roberson.
Well, Kentucky, you look back at the non-conference and you try to figure out, okay, they got to get better at the defensive end of the floor, but offensively, and a very unselfish group that likes to make the pass, and nobody more than De'Aaron Fox. And Bam does an excellent job pinning and sealing, forcing the defensive player to stay on his high side. Now look at this right here, partner. This is like Clemson's special teams, their punt formation. Remember last night we were talking about their punts? Why are they doing it?
Right.
They don't want to give up the kickoff return or the punt return. For Vanderbilt, they don't want to give up transition looks. So they have all 4 Vandy players are back already set in defense to try to take Kentucky out of transition.
Sean, I'm not sure that I have seen that, what they just did. And, of course, Roberson knocks down both free throws,
right,
but now they're ready to go defensively because I think Kentucky's been timed in about 3 seconds after a made basket coming back. That's how fast this team is. And Fox misses and commits a foul. Reach in, that's his second.
Well, and again, that's a strategy. You know, I mean, it's just like it was for Clemson last night in their punts, and short punts that rolled 20 yards after they landed and no return whatsoever. Allow your defense to make plays. What Vanderbilt wants to do is they want to force Kentucky, who's got foul trouble now with their 2 very talented guards. They want to force them to play in the half court. They want to get them out of that fast break, easy look, secondary transition looks that have become so accustomed to watching this season with this Wildcat roster.
Now, Calipari goes to his bench, and this is a story. Sends 2 seniors. They've got 3 seniors for stability, and 2 of them come in to replace the young stars. And 1 as backing down is Luke Cornett, the 7'1" center.
Well, they switch, and it's a mismatch underneath. Mulder on Cornette. Cornette's size too big for Mulder, and an easy finish over the top for the N1 opportunity. And you mentioned those guards being out. Here's where the experience and leadership of Isaiah Briscoe needs to carry this roster right now.
Old-fashioned three-point play. So slowly, the Doors inching their way back in with those two young stars seated on the Kentucky bench. Screening out high. Here's Sean's man Briscoe with the J.
He's so improved from a season ago as far as his shot and how it looks and how it's coming off of his fingertips. Spent a ton of time in the offseason. Has been challenged at practices, which has been documented throughout the course of this year, where they limit him and tell him you can only shoot three-pointers at this practice.
Trying to get a good look for a three. Fisher Davis. Yes! Respond from the wing, and there's Fisher Davis yanking down the rebound. Dribble penetration. Yes. Make it a one-point game now. They battle back with Fox and Monk on the bench. Adebayo, bam!
There is no answer for Bam underneath. But right now, Kentucky's got to get locked in defensively. Last couple of possessions, they've been able to create some mismatches for Vanderbilt. We've got a mismatch right now on Cornette underneath.
The J. And it's a one-point game again. This is a very good-looking offense now that Vanderbilt's got it going, and with those two stars out. Stay down, but it's only a two-point shot. Coaches will tell you in that situation, stay out beyond that three-point line. So Vanderbilt battles back. Galliberry will have to coach him up right now. He's got two of his best players on the bench as Vanderbilt answers solidly. Game on in Nashville.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink, connecting more than just places. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
A familiar face in the crowd. That's right, the Michigan football coach, Jimmy Harbaugh, is here, and right next to him, that's Homer Drew. Then Jim's father, Jack Harbaugh, is over on the right. Now, they became friends when Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. And, of course, Homer was coaching basketball at Valparaiso. That's where the families first met, and now they have become great friends. And it's nice to see Jim here. So I asked him, how'd you enjoy Clemson's win last night? He said, I fell asleep. So, folks, I'm telling you, we got to shorten those games up a little bit. Jimmy's idea was no timeouts after a first down. Run it like the NFL. I agree with that.
Today news for Michigan's football program, Jabril Peppers declared for the draft.
Probably expected.
Yeah, something unexpected. Number one safety overall, according to Mel Kiper on his big board, top 10 pick. But we'll leave a gaping hole that I'm sure that he'll figure out in the recruiting season.
Foul trouble for Kentucky. And Kaylee, what did you hear in the huddle?
Yeah, you better believe Coach Cal was all about that foul trouble he's seen his team get into. He said these defensive breakdowns are leading to open shots and that foul trouble. It all goes back to a word we've heard Calipari use all season long when it comes to this team. This young team needs discipline. He wants to see that in this game today. And with those two young stars on the bench in that foul trouble, he has challenged Isaiah Briscoe to be the one to sprint the ball up the court.
Well, he's got it right now, Kaylee, as he comes up across the timeline. And a miss on the three by Mulder. One of our three seniors who checked in. Hawkins, Willis, also been out there.
Only one starter on the floor right now for Kentucky, and that's Briscoe. And to Kaylee's point, one of the things that Coach Cal talked about with this group is focus on improvement in daily habits, which leads to a consistent mindset. That's that focus, that edge that they need to have, whether they're at home or on the road.
Briscoe battles inside. Won't stay down. Offensive rebound is rejected by Roberson. Burnett thought about it, didn't he?
Everybody on this team is a catch-and-shoot perimeter player for Vanderbilt. That's what makes them a unique matchup, because it's not an offense that you see consistently.
For the lead. Yes! Vanderbilt, once down 9-zip, has taken a 17-15 lead. Kentucky can't get it back.
Kentucky's not getting out in transition. They're not getting the stops that they need. And those two things, all of a sudden now you change your identity. And that was the big thing for Bryce Drew when talking to his team. He said you want to make Kentucky, in forcing them into making plays that they haven't had to make so far this season.
Fade. Kentucky basketball. And you can see that Monk returns with two personal fouls.
Well, good defense underneath. You know, Vandy's loss at Alabama, they held them just 32% from the floor. And a good outside shot by Luke Cornett. The big problem in that game, and the reason why they lost that game in Alabama, was they gave up 20 offensive rebounds. Kentucky has yet to really hurt them on the offensive glass thus far.
Off the bench, but a little bit short. It's hard to drive to the basket against all these athletes wearing blue. Offensive foul is called, and that was good work by Briscoe. And so much talent has come from Kentucky, and coming up, former Kentucky great, current Minnesota Timberwolves center, Karl Anthony Towns, will join us on the telephone. Vanderbilt battles back after Kentucky in early foul trouble, and we welcome in on the telephone Karl Anthony Towns. They beat Dallas last night. Minnesota did, 101-92. Karl Anthony went for 34 points, 11 rebounds. That's his 27th double-double. Karl Anthony, I know you're watching your Wildcats here tonight. What are your thoughts about the Kentucky game?
I mean, you know, right now, Vanderbilt's shooting well. I think also Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox, you know, being in foul trouble is hurting us a little bit. But again, you know, it's all about trusting the team, staying disciplined, understanding the game plan, defensively and offensively. And I think right now they're just staying on board.
You're going back to your time at Kentucky. The word so often used around the program is family. What did your year in Lexington mean to you?
It meant everything. You know, those are relationships I'm going to have for the rest of my life. You know, with Devin, Trey, Willie, Dakari, the Harrison twins, everyone. You know, we just continuously love each other, even now, as we move to the next steps in our career. It's always great watching Dominic Hawkins in the game. You know, that's one of our brothers. That was one of us. So, again, you know, it's a family. Even with teammates who haven't played with us, you know, just years before, John Wall, Anthony Davis, a bunch of cousins, everyone gets the same love.
Yeah, you know, there's a fella nicknamed Bam who said, "Look out, Carl Anthony, I'm going to come to the NBA. I'm coming after you, man." And Roberson.
Listen, he's doing a great job right now. I just don't want him to rush any steps. Enjoy this process. Enjoy being in Kentucky. It's one of the best years and moments you'll have in your life.
You know, you mentioned the talented guard play on this team. Isaiah Briscoe with a triple-double already this season. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox got the first one of the year for Kentucky. You got your first triple-double in the NBA. How hard is it to get a triple-double?
It's really hard. It's really, really hard. So for him to do what he did already is mind-boggling. You know, they have so much talent. And they remind me a lot of us when I was there. I think that they have a chance to do something really, really great. Right now, they just got to stay disciplined, stay with Coach Cal, keep believing in each other, and just keep loving each other, and everything will keep working.
And of course, for the All-Star game, to help get Karl Anthony Towns there, you go #NBA vote, put Karl Anthony Towns' name in there. It kind of works. And when you have the double-doubles that Brent was talking about, what was it about your time in Kentucky, though, and how smooth of the transition you've had into the NBA? Because it's gone very smoothly, whether it was your rookie year last year to now.
I mean, again, that's a testament again to University of Kentucky and Coach Calipari. You know, for them to get me, first of all, my body ready and get me mentally ready for being a professional, and secondly, just getting my skills where it needs to be to come into the league and be successful. Again, that's just a testament to the coaching staff and a testament to the men they make at University of Kentucky, not players, but men.
Karl Anthony, we want to thank you for being with us. I've got to take a call on line 2. It's from Oklahoma City. A fellow named Westbrook says, "Hey, wait a minute. He said this is tough. I do it every night." Karl Anthony, good luck to you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. So it's 2019 here, and Sean, you during that commercial break, I'm going to pass along what you said because I totally agree with you. Vanderbilt has played very well after being down by 9 points.
Well, and it's based on the fact that the foul trouble takes you completely out of rhythm. It disjoints Kentucky, their attack, how they defend, the communication level when you're playing with lineups that haven't had to been out on the floor in these type of situations before. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt is feeling very comfortable in spacing the floor, attacking off the bounce, but yet getting to their perimeter 3.
There is the 3 ball, and foul is going to be called. John Calipari down there. The one thing when you coach at the baseline, you can give the baseline official an earful. And John has been doing just that. We've got to get a few more fouls against those other fellas. And he got one there.
And yet, Kaylee did a great job describing the floor and how it's laid out. And you see Coach Cal way off and far away from his bench. So it's not just now you can go up the sideline. That's great. But sometimes, you know, when you're on the sideline, you look and you tell a player something really quick. If you're up the sideline, you got to walk all the way back to tell him.
Now it is Fox who is on the floor. And there goes the big man, Adebayo. And he was fouled. He'll come up to the free throw line. You know, they worked a long time at practice today, Sean. You were talking about it. On getting him the ball in deep and letting him attack with that strength of his.
Well, I was on Sports Center before the game, and one of the questions they asked, so much attention to the guards. I think what's been overlooked has been Bam. And Bam's putting up really solid numbers. You see where he's at as far as rebounds per game in the conference. But already in 15 games, he has 46 dunks. He's on pace to break a record that Anthony Davis holds. And anytime you can break anything that Anthony Davis did, that means you're doing really, really well.
Indeed. Kaylee?
Well, Calipari's actually commanded his backcourt to get Bam the ball. Isaiah Briscoe has said in team scrimmages, there have been segments where the ball's got to touch Bam's hands first before anybody is allowed to shoot the ball. The team is really being conditioned to play through him, and if he continues to play as he has, Briscoe says you got no choice but to give him the ball.
Kentucky's so long on defense. The 3 from the corner misses again. 1 and done, and here comes Fox. Pull up. Bingo.
Just great balance. His feet are underneath him. When they get a defensive rebound, they're looking to run, they're looking to score, and they're on one right now. 6-point lead. Well, the Cats have been so good all season long, getting out in transition. Shot comes in the corner. Rebound on the loose floor, and look how quick. His head is up right away, surveying the defense. You have your hands down, you're giving up real estate. He is more than comfortable stopping and hitting that free throw line jumper. You know what I love about this Kentucky team? They have fun. You know, when they're playing free, they have fun. De'Aaron Fox has fun. Malik Monk has fun. They're smiling. They're enjoying the game. We should all enjoy the game.
Absolutely. Get it into the big man, Cornette. Briscoe returns, and now Fox will sit. So John protecting his two. Remember, each of those young backcourt stars, 2 fouls apiece if you just joined us. 4 on the shot right now. So Vanderbilt must catch and go to work. And there's a foul, and that is Bam stepped out on him, and he should have been very aware. There was only 4 seconds. Let that man go out there.
Right, you're going away from the basket. Fine, you want to show on a shot, but he was not even close to stepping into a shot. That is a careless foul that will send Matthew Fisher-Davis to the free throw line.
And a shooter like Fisher-Davis, you don't want him there. Thursday, of course, Notre Dame, Miami, ACC game at 7 p.m. on Thursday night, followed by SMU against 22nd ranked Cincinnati. So doubleheader college basketball on Thursday. Of course, the NBA boys take center stage tomorrow night here on ESPN. Basketball season has started officially. Once that college football championship is declared, everybody come on in. The water's fun. Briscoe fade back short. Not a good shot. Penetrating and driving to the hole is Riley LaChance. We haven't talked much about him, but LaChance is a very fine player. Wrapped around the other end. That's how quickly they can strike back, John.
Yeah, both sides, though. No help side rotation. Nobody pinching off, forcing to cut off the ball handler. Instead, giving up baseline for Vanderbilt and then giving up the middle. The Kentucky Wildcats is Riley LaChance, who has his hands on the ball. You mentioned it. A much improved player from even where he was a season ago.
And one. Beautiful. Woo.
Riley LaChance hasn't taken a lot of shots this season. Has really picked his moments. He's had a couple of moments in the last 2 possessions. He'll be at the free throw line, and Vandy, they're staring right at the Cats.
A buzzer beater. What's the better finish?
Well, it's always the freshest in my mind, and it depends on where I had action, and I didn't have any last night. So. But I got to tell you, that's a very, very good question. And let me think about that. You always buy time by, the Villanova, because of my relationship with their great win at the Rupp Arena, I might add, when they beat Georgetown that night, and we were there. I can still see the catch and shoot to end that game. I honestly thought last year's championship was the one that surpassed Villanova's first win over Georgetown. That was a wonderful game, but last night's football game, hey, congratulations. What a job by the Tigers in that game. Hey, I was focused on this basketball game, and I got to ask a football question. No, I get.
You know what? It was like you and I had dinner, though, last night.
Oh, we did.
I mean, I was picking your brain the entire night. Hey, that itself could have been like a Facebook Live. Just sit it right in front of us as you and I are having steak, watching the national championship. Unbelievable.
Fisher-Davis. What a great shooter he is. 29-27. Vandy climbs into the lead. Knocked away. Vanderbilt, ever they upset the Wildcats. Here a year ago, they were an underdog by a dozen or 11 points, depending on what time of day you were checking numbers today. And they're doing a heck of a job as that underdog. Bad pass. Drive. And Monk finishes.
So explosive when he has a seam or a lane to attack.
Deadlocked at 29. Turnaround inside by Roberson's been very impressive tonight.
And he has been struggling over the last 3 games. Just 4 of 21 coming into tonight. 19%. But he's been in his comfort zone. Now, they have allowed Vandy to gain confidence as the half has gone on.
There is Monk out of Littletown in Arkansas. His brother was a football and basketball player at Arkansas, and I had a little talk with Monk today about relationship with his brother, and here it is, a turnover. Slam it down is Mulder.
And Mulder has been one of those guys that has continued to increase his role off the bench. Came out of the junior college ranks as a very good perimeter scorer and shooter. Wasn't so great a season ago, but this year, much better confidence.
3 balls short. Just look how fast Kentucky gets into the attack. Ready to slash, shoot the 3, pull up. They've got so many looks off of that. Open 3. Kessler, who was very good in practice and has been good at shooting 3s, missing on that one. Briscoe. Vandy ball. So we've got 3 subs checking in now for the Wildcat side.
And just watch, loose ball situation. Riley LaChance turns in, loses his footing. Mulder able to get in the rim, and this is where Kentucky thrives. Scoring early in the shot clock. Seth Greenberg back in studio. He was talking about it all last week. They want to get out. They want to score early. They want to score in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock. What they've been unable to do is that consistently, though, tonight.
Humphreys lays it in off. Nice feed, and it's a 4-point Wildcat advantage. 3:45 left here. Rimmed out. Vandy starting to miss some shots now.
Oh, see, that can't happen, partner. You take a 3-point shot. Nobody goes to the offensive glass. All 5 guys are running back, and they are set there on defense. It is one pass, wide open jump shot from 12 feet. You've got to want to defend better than that if you're Vanderbilt.
And as a result, the Cats are on an 8-0 run. Need it. Got it. Roberson. How the 3-point shot has changed the game of basketball. Scoring, college ranks up, and you have to think that it's a 3-point shot that is largely responsible. Bishop Davis got a little awkward look there with the left hand, and back come the Cats. Fox. Offensive rebound. Now the 3. The free throw line, Matthew Fisher Davis, young man from Charlotte, North Carolina. So when we come back, we'll hear from Jim Harbaugh. Kaylee Hartung will talk to him. Sellout crowd here in Nashville. Kentucky leading Vanderbilt 37-34. The stars have come out for this game. One of them is with Kaylee Hartung, football coach Jimmy Harbaugh.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, in a season in which your football team had 3 losses by a total of 5 points, how do you put into perspective how difficult the task Clemson completed last night was in winning that national title?
Well, I heard it was a great game. I haven't TiVo'd. I did not. I fell asleep. but I heard it was an incredible game, and congratulations to both teams and to Clemson.
Now, you were a recent guest on John Calipari's Calcast podcast, and you told him you wanted to get to a game. Why this one, and what are your reactions to it now that you get to see this Kentucky team in person?
Yeah, I don't believe in the empty gesture, so he invited me to a game and a practice. I'm going. And also, I've known the Drew family for a long time, really from afar, and admired them. They're like, if you know the television series The Blue Bloods, the Drews are the Blue Bloods of college basketball. And met Homer Drew in like 1995 when he was coaching at Valpo, and then I was coaching at USD. We played Valpo, and Scott's doing great at Baylor, and Bryce doing a heck of a job here. So I always wanted to see this gym, though. I've seen it on TV so many times, the raised floor and the theater atmosphere. It's really incredible in person. Glad to be here.
Yeah, what are your reactions to how unique this setting is when you're in it?
Oh, it's so cool. I remember when the benches used to be on the side of the floor and the players would step up and step down. I think Minnesota has a similar gym to that as well. But it's amazing. It's like a theater. The acoustics are unbelievable. And Coach Cal is awesome. I love watching him coach. He's up and down the baseline talking to the officials. It's cool to watch. I'm having a blast.
Now, he had a great line in that podcast where he said his family loves watching you coach because then they don't think he's so crazy when he coaches. What have you observed from that sideline demeanor?
He's awesome. He's awesome. Amazing how Vanderbilt's doing a heck of a job. Kentucky answers like every basket. I'm really impressed by that. And the shooting was unbelievable in the first part of the game as well. See, like Vanderbilt's kind of pulling back their zone to make Kentucky shoot. Kentucky's shooting pretty darn good. So what I know about basketball could not blow up a small balloon. So that's all I really know.
So what we're saying here is, Sean Farnham, your job is safe. Jim Harbaugh is not coming for it. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, that's good. That's good for me. I want to hold this job. I don't want to give it up to anybody.
He's a terrific personality.
Oh, he's great. How about the signing day special they always have? They had Ric Flair there last year. He told me Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, is going to be coming back up to Michigan for signing day this year.
39-36, Kentucky leading Vandy, and foul on a 3-ball, bringing Fisher Davis to the free throw line for 3.
Yeah, you just cannot do that. You understand the scouting report. You've got to be there on the catch, and that arm leaning out, jumping into the body. That's a mental lapse. I'll tell you what, Matthew Fisher Davis, how about this one? Coming in this game, he has more than doubled his free throw attempts from a season ago, and he's done it in 423 fewer minutes. And part of that has been Bryce Drew. And you credit him for telling, look, kid, you can shoot the ball. We all know that. But you've got to do more. You've got to be able to put the ball down on the floor and drive and attack. We've seen that already tonight. That was just a mental breakdown, though, and giving him 3 free throws.
He gave 1 back, hit 2 of 3, so he's 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That, incidentally, was the first missed free throw that Vandy has had in this game tonight.
There is no doubt the foul trouble here in the first half has disjointed this Kentucky Wildcat team.
And it's against Kentucky. Well, we mentioned that there was an NBA doubleheader. Of course, we heard from Carl, the Timberwolves. And look at that. What do we make of that doubleheader? Memphis, Oklahoma City, Cleveland Cavaliers, Trailblazers.
You mentioned Russell Westbrook and his ability to get triple-doubles seemingly every single night. Of course, the Cavs are must-see television. I was impressed with Memphis going on the road to Golden State, trailing by as many as they did late in that game, and they just stayed with the process and found a way to win.
Full disclosure, I did a Harbaugh that night. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to. Look, it wasn't the national championship.
No shot on the play. Foul before that. You know, as you know, when we started that night last night, I was getting free drinks and toasting the crowd with Roll Tide, and by the time we went to sleep, it was Ebb Tide.
What a game last night. And you know what? you look at that game, you look at what we saw in the national championship and the question they asked you about last year's title game and the big shot for Villanova. The way this college basketball season is shaping up, it's going to be ultra competitive by the time we get to March. It's so many teams that are so close to each other up top.
Baptiste with 4 fouls here in the first half, so he's one of the big bodies they've been putting down low on Bam, and it's a 2-point advantage for the Wildcats. There's a foul against Kentucky, and I believe that might have been Gabriel down low.
Derek Willis, so much has been talked about. He came off of a great game against Arkansas, and there's a lot of articles locally talking about how they've been asking him to be a better defensive player, rebound the basketball, and so much attention was going to that it was taken away from his offense. The last couple of possessions, though, he has not been attentive to the defensive end. He's allowing the man that he is guarding, whether it's showing out on the screen and fouling three-point shooter, or that time the ball handler, just a little hesitation and a blow-by. He's got to do a better job keeping his man in front of him, forcing him to go east-west, not north-south.
Yeah, Torrey can't convert his free throw attempts. So the Wildcats maintain that 2-point advantage into the final minute. Briscoe on the drive.
Well, that was a blow-by and no help side defensive rotation out of the back line. You're in a zone defense. You've got to collapse on the ball handler as they get to the middle.
Deep 3. Ball on the floor, scooped up, and a putback by Joe Torrey. Briscoe, left hand.
And that was so smooth. A little hesitation, hit the pause button, and then restart your engines and blow by. Isaiah Briscoe ends the half with the easy layup for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Calipari is out here with the officials. He thinks a walk was called and that a whistle blew. And I thought I heard a whistle. I didn't know what the call was, but I did think I heard a whistle before that shot. Let's check in with Kaylee.
Did you just get any explanation from the officials on that?
You heard the whistle too? They called a walk, but I guess that's okay. Said he didn't, but I believe him. Got to defend. They're shooting layups, and we're getting beat on straight line drives, and I like the fact that we're in this kind of foul trouble and figuring it out, and guys are trying to play. Got to get one of our big guys to play better. Can't just play Bam the whole half.
John Calipari with a 4-point lead here at the intermission over Vanderbilt. So coming up, Carl Ravitch, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams, and the Alfa Romeo halftime report. We're going to hear the Baylor score. Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. From Vanderbilt, Nashville, Tennessee, the Kentucky Wildcats. And look at the blue. All of those Kentucky Wildcat fans traveling. They lead it by 45-41 over the home team. And Sean, 13 whistles against Kentucky, 10 against Vanderbilt in the first half. But it was 4 that changed the complexion of this game.
Well, we came in talking about the guards, and in particular Fox and Monk. And their impact in the game was huge considering the minutes that they played. They went 6 of 10 combined from the field, 13 points. But they did it in only 14 minutes of playing time.
The good news is this. The numbers stayed at 2. And Cal was able to bring him inside and out throughout the course of the first half. Get him in, pull him right back out. Now they can play freely here in the second half. They've got to re-energize this team at both ends of the floor with their defensive ability to pick up the ball and then get out in transition.
Adebayo was a beast down low. Briscoe had a very positive first half. There he is feeding down low, and here comes Bam again. He's on the free throw line, and he's been very successful on the line here tonight. He's 7 of 8. Let's check in with Kaylee.
Well, Brent, Vanderbilt's defense jumping out to us in that first half, but Bryce Drew told me he saw breakdowns defensively in his team in the last 5 minutes. He said if we're going to win this game, we can't continue to have those breakdowns. But he's very pleased as they're beating them on the glass with their rebounds. And then he also feels like they've been able to keep Kentucky outside for stretches, but they've got to do that for longer periods of time. He said we've got to keep getting the threes. We've had some good looks, and we can't miss any free throws here. Force Kentucky to take jump shots. That's how he thinks they could win this game.
Trailing by 5, and that's a foul that goes against Vanderbilt. Coming up with the ball was Willis.
A little arm bar, a little push off. Maybe you want to call, just extend that arm out. No need to do that in that position. I mean, just be strong. Understand Briscoe's going to get up in you.
And Briscoe did a great job of making sure they saw it. Now he's fouled at the other end on the free throw line. And unhappy is Cornett.
Well, it's just as Kaylee was talking about, they want to force Kentucky to settle from the outside, but a little step away from the basket, Riley LaChance bites on it, and Briscoe gets space.
Three fouls, so the bigs are entering foul trouble for Vanderbilt. Kressler, three-point shooter, replaces Willis, and they certainly would like to get him going. He put on some display in practice yesterday. But when you're shooting against air, it's a lot different than shooting against these players in blue. Great feed and a finish by Roberson. How quickly Kentucky gets to the attack. Monk with a left-handed feed down low. Back outside for the three. Battle for the rebound, and the foul is going to go against Kentucky. Adebayo.
And that is his second foul, and both of them were careless fouls. One was with 4 seconds left to go on the shot clock as he was riding Matthew Fisher-Davis away from the basket. And in that one, you don't gather the ball, don't reach in, just get back defensively.
Gabriel takes a seat. Cal coaching him up over there is Kenny Payne, an outstanding assistant. Covered him as a great player at Louisville through the years. A nice young man. Fisher-Davis on a drive around. He is the scoring leader for Vandy, and a turnover by Briscoe. Couldn't get the handle on the pass.
Well, Matthew Fisher-Davis had himself a game against Auburn. He finished with 33 points, 7 made three-pointers. He's been in a good rhythm so far tonight. 14 points already in this game, 12 of them coming in the first half.
Underdog is hanging tough here in Nashville. Fisher-Davis rimmed out. Quickly into Monk's hands. Monk looking for daylight.
Well, one of the things I credit Bryce Drew for, this Vanderbilt offense and the way they're playing right now is not what he ran at Valpo at all, but it is what fits the personality and the makeup of his personnel. And that's when I talked to Matthew Fisher-Davis. He said the one thing that earned our trust right away is adaptation.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Jeff Roberson from Houston, Texas, is playing an outstanding game. We're tied for the 6th time. Door was open.
Briscoe, time and time again tonight, has answered
the basket by Vanderbilt immediately at the other end, always driving towards the hoop.
Yes, knocking it down. Riley the chance gives Vandy a 1-point lead. And just like you said, Sean, Briscoe responds quickly at the other end.
Well, Vanderbilt's got to do a better job cutting off the lane. Understand, he's shooting the ball better this year, but it's not like he's a dead-eye shooter from the outside.
And one, LaChance.
There's a one-on-one matchup going on within the game right now that's a lot of fun. Riley LaChance is guarding Isaiah Briscoe. Well, he's not doing so well at that end, but at this end of the floor, he's able to get by Fox that time, absorb the contact, and earns the right to get to the free throw line.
You know, one of the things, Sean, that is impacting the Vanderbilt defense is that their big fellas have incurred foul problems. So when they jump into that lane, they're not too sure that they're going to pick up the charging call.
Well, that and they're hesitating on it. You know, even when you're in foul trouble, you can go if you go quick.
Spinning move by Briscoe. And a foul against Vandy.
I don't like that one at all. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, partner. I don't like this one at all. He rotated over quickly. He rotated over early. His hands were up. I know it came down at the last moment, but it made no contact. When his arm broke and came down, it didn't make any contact.
That changes the complexion of this game completely. The foul trouble. Cornette with 4. Baptiste with 4. Willis with 4. The bigs are in deep, deep trouble. And the Wildcats are about to feast on that problem.
Well, and add to the mix that this Vanderbilt team is not deep at all. He only goes 9 deep. And even with going 9 deep, a lot of times they're not getting the production you need, and they have very limited size coming off the bench. So foul trouble at the guard position played Kentucky in the first half. Now it's interior foul trouble that might eat away Vanderbilt here in the second.
They're going to try Baptiste. Fisher Davis pulls it. Misfiring on that 3. Here they come. Four for 7 on the field for Fox. He picks up LaChance. LaChance to the corner. Kressler on the drive. Wouldn't stay down. Saves it. Kentucky. Back-to-back jump shots. Drew has got to have a timeout. He's complaining that there was no foul called under the basket. The crowd joins in.
Well, they were hampered with foul trouble in the first half, but the freshman guards of Kentucky, you get them loose in the open floor. Almost identical spots. Stop and pop. They knock it down. 4-point lead, Cats.
Back in Nashville, Kentucky now leads it by 4 over Vanderbilt. And Sean, this was the play that infuriated the crowd and the coaches at Vanderbilt. No whistle on that play in underneath.
Well, the only thing that you can look at there to say that it's not a foul is that it was Kressler that initiated the contact jumping into the body of Humphreys. But what Bryce Drew is saying is at the other end, he felt like Cornette, maybe not a foul down there. They call it that a questionable one down here. He wanted it back in return. And every possession pivotal, 15:37 left to go. But for his team that's been plagued with interior foul trouble now here in the second half, they need to try to manufacture points any way they can. Not many second chance opportunities for Vanderbilt in this game.
Pressure here from Kentucky on the inbounds pass. There's your Vandy foul trouble with the bigs. Shot clock rotates down to 5. A chance. One and done. And here's Briscoe.
Really good defense that time by Kentucky, forcing them from the outside. Contested shot.
Fox, and a foul is going to be called. Fisher Davis. So we've got a timeout. 15 minutes left in regulation. Wildcats up 4.
Well, partner, I look at that game coming up this weekend between Duke and Louisville. Great matchups in the ACC seemingly every night. A very deep conference this year. Notre Dame right now undefeated at the top. Florida State undefeated. Everybody else already has taken a loss. And for Duke in particular, Emil Jefferson being out with the bruised foot. They're missing him tonight against Florida State. Their best rebounder. That could cause problems in that Louisville game.
Fox knocks down the jump shot, 59-53. Kentucky's lead now grows to 6. At the start of the game, they had a 9-point lead. That's their largest of the evening.
I always love when a team comes out of a timeout and executes like Kentucky did right there. That's the follow-through. That's the mental discipline that you're looking for.
Over the top. Fisher Davis went back door to him. And there's a foul against Vanderbilt. I think that's Fisher Davis picking this one up.
Previous possession, though, offensively, Matthew Fisher Davis is going to give up the ball, receive the back screen, and as he cuts through right here, Isaiah Briscoe is going to kind of just give up on the play a little bit. Kind of lost vision of where the ball was, and his man stayed on the high side, and that nice touch pass over the top for the easy 2.
Monk misses the runner. Baptiste. The chance is cut off. Coming to the free throw line is Baptiste. Young man from Haiti, been in foul trouble, picked up 4 in the first half of this game. Still looking for his first point. Well, following the Indiana-Maryland game on ESPN, stick around for SportsCenter at night with Lisa Kearney and Kevin Connors. They'll have all the news in college basketball, and what a night. Baylor making a move on West Virginia. I'm sure they'll have big highlights of that. Duke and Florida State just underway. In case you haven't noticed, the Noles are 15-1. What a year overall, football and basketball for the ACC when you think about Clemson winning the national championship. Louisville with young Jackson picking up the Heisman. The Noles won the Orange Bowl, and Monk misses, hits the front of that iron. The scoring leader of the SEC has not gotten into his shooting rhythm in this game. Probably taken out of it with the 2 quick fouls.
I remember he got going early, hit that first 3-pointer.
That takes on the drive. Briscoe's cut off. Traveling. Hawkins traveled.
Well, you mentioned Monk not being in rhythm. Early in this game, he hit his first 3-point shot, then stepped into a mid-range jump shot. Everything looked like it was going to go smooth, and then the foul trouble, it just disjoints you. When you pick up a couple of early fouls, all of a sudden you're a little bit less aggressive, sometimes even hesitant at the defensive end of the floor, and that carries and bleeds over to the offensive end, besides just the fact of the limited minutes that he played in the first half.
There's some pushing in underneath. And it's going to go against Vandy and underneath, and that's push on Roberson.
It should be a 1-on-1 underneath the basket. And Roberson got his left arm up on the shoulder and turned into Gabriel. They both were coming into each other in a box-out situation, but if you turn and you put your arm on that left-hand shoulder, and it's not a difficult call. And the fans inside may not like it, but it's the right call. I think they're looking to double check and make sure that it's the right shooter. And it is Gabriel that should be at the free throw line. And there's a lot of calls maybe throughout the course of this game we can have long discussions on. That one's not one of them. Execution at the free throw line, 79% on the year for Gabriel. Has one double-double on the year. That happened at Cleveland State, season high 15 points against UT Martin. He's stuck on 4 tonight.
Vandy basketball. Trailing it by 5. Baptiste to help out. The chance. Ball knocked away and turned it over.
I love the press. And what the press does is get you out of your comfort zone. And for Vanderbilt, they average about 20 seconds per possession on the season. Clearly a lot more than what Kentucky does. Kentucky wants to play fast, so you speed them up and you force them to get outside their comfort zone and out of their rhythm by playing faster.
Good ball movement. Fox finishes it. So they've turned it back over to the Cats. Things are starting to slip away from Vanderbilt right now. Cornette returns with 4 fouls. Offensive foul.
And they got Gabriel with the illegal screen, a design set play where they like to have Gabriel pinch in, set the screen, and Bam likes to slide around it. Here comes the screen. You extend out your arms ever so slightly, easy call, but a design play to try to get the ball underneath to Bam.
And Bam will take his seat. Kentucky continues with this press. Davis on the drive, and he's on the free throw line. So we'll take a break at the 11:50 mark. Can Vanderbilt mount another comeback against Calipari? We'll find out. So the last time they played, February, right here in Nashville, Matthew Fisher Davis, he led the doors with 20 points. Jeff Roberson added 16, and Vandy upset the 16th ranked Wildcats 74-62. Vanderbilt's first win over Kentucky here at Memorial since 2011, and they stormed the floor. Calipari sent his reserves off the bench to the locker room early because he said, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I know they're going to storm the floor.
Well, you look at this game, partner, and Kaylee, you and I were talking with Bryce Drew earlier, and he said, look, if we can get to the 10-minute mark in the second half, and this is still tight, we feel that the pressure starts to shift a little bit to Kentucky. And I know, Kaylee, you were just in the huddle there. Are you getting that sense that Vanderbilt's getting more confident?
Well, Bryce Drew, known to be able to take bad situations and put a positive spin on them. He just told his team, we're in a good spot. One of the most important messages out of that, he wants them to be aggressive on Bam. That's where this starts for him now.
6-point difference right now. Kentucky with the ball in the lead. Down on the floor, and finally a whistle.
They call it timeout.
Yep. Calipari right there. Well, here's Thursday's action on ESPN. Started 7 p.m. with Notre Dame, Miami. And Sean, what's your feeling about the next game is SMU Cincinnati?
Hey, take a look at SMU, one of the better defensive teams in the country, 5th in the NCAA in points allowed per game against a Cincinnati team that has been noted for toughness under Mick Cronin. I think they're going to play very balanced. I think that's going to be a tough one all the way to the end in the American because of style of play. And talking about style of play, one of the things that stands out to me is Kentucky came to this game 4th best in the NCAA in assists, averaging almost 19 per game. So far in this game tonight, they only have 7 on 24 made field goals. Vanderbilt's done a nice job forcing them to play one-on-one basketball.
Big offensive rebound after that miss.
And what that signals to me is they're just not in their normal rhythm offensively.
And there is Fox, baseline, little jumper.
And a nice assist by Briscoe.
It is so much harder for Vanderbilt to score, but Peyton Willis able to battle his way in for that driving layup, and it was not easy. Monk hasn't had his rhythm tonight. Deep three. LeChance and Kressler return for Vanderbilt. You know, the entire Drew family listening to Kaylee on that huddle, they all put a positive spin on everything. Homer was always positive with Valparaiso. Scott has been that way with Baylor through the years. I was just thinking about the family. What a great record the Drews have, huh? One of the best families all time in winning college basketball games. And there's Fox again, getting to the rim.
And if you give a seam and a lane to Kentucky with their guards, they've been able to get there with great ease against Vanderbilt.
Fisher Davis. Pushing foul. Fox came hard for the foul.
Well, offensively, you swing it out to the outside, and nobody pinches in. Cornette needs to take a step in and pinch and hedge and force the kick. Instead, he allows the layup, and then at the defensive end of the floor, I thought it was clean up top. Contact has to be underneath at that point in time.
Absolutely.
And Matthew Fisher Davis will be back at the free throw line.
Well, if they can get themselves to the line, that's 18 points for Fisher Davis tonight. Remember that highlight from a year ago? He scored 20.
What this does, stops the clock. You don't have to score against their defense. If you're a good free throw shooting team, the rest of your team is back. It forces them to have to play in the half court. Nothing but positives can come from Vanderbilt if they get to the free throw line.
They're inside of that 10-minute mark here in regulation. Staying alive in Nashville. And finally, Monk. That's the mark of a very good basketball player. The outside shot's just not working tonight, so take it to the rim. Under pressure, one and done, and here comes Briscoe. Wants to force the issue if he can. was Bam underneath picking it up. Adebayo. That's number 4 on him. And they'll shoot 1-on-1. So this is a golden opportunity for Vanderbilt. Humphreys replaces number 3.
And one of the teaching lessons is for Coach Cal talking to his freshmen. 3 of those 4 fouls have come on the offensive side of the floor. And needless, 85 feet away from the basket. You don't need to foul in those situations. You have to be smarter, especially when you're the most productive big that the Wildcats have.
Fox returns and Hawkins is out. Willis is on the floor. Briscoe has been the Iron Man tonight. And now with 8 points. They're back to within 6 at the 9-minute mark. Fouled on the drive.
If I'm Kentucky, I really don't think I'd shoot another 3-point shot the rest of this game. There's no need to. You've had such great success driving the basket, whether it's that time Monk picking up the foul and getting the trip to the free throw line, or whether it's been Isaiah Briscoe time and time again, De'Aaron Fox finding that seam, that lane to get to the rim. The back line of Vanderbilt's defense is not rotating well. And even more so now with the foul trouble, as you've mentioned, with the Cornet out on the floor with 4.
Fisher Davis being guarded by Monk. Got free on a screen, missed the shot.
The pass was back to Cornet. He missed him. That was a little bit of a selfish look. If you come off the screen and there's 2 blue jerseys on you, that means somebody doesn't have anybody on him. And that somebody was Luke Cornet, who's capable of knocking down a 3-point shot, especially when it's uncontested.
Monk misses the pull-up. Jump hook is on the money for Luke Cornet out of Lantana, Texas. Feed in low. Bad miss. Vandy with a chance here.
Coach Cal immediately looked at the bench and got Bam right back up after that miss.
One-hand runner won't stay down. Soaring. Could not convert. Now quickly LeChance misfires. Gabriel will check back in for Calipari. And Calipari is not happy with his freshman. He is all over Monk. So we got a little frustration with the Kentucky Wildcats. But what about the other Drew? Back with that story in a moment. Well, there's Homer Drew. And of course, he has 2 sons. And we heard about Scott's problems with Baylor at West Virginia tonight. And here Bryce is trying to stay in the thick of things against Kentucky. And Coach Calipari was very, very upset by that driving assault to the rim by Monk. John gave him an earful during that timeout.
He went for the home run. There was no doubt about it. If he turns it over, probably gets a foul versus trying to cock it back from too far out. What a try.
So Fox converts. Kentucky for the game, shooting 50%. Now just a little over with that field goal. Stepping outside, Cornette with that range did not knock it down.
They've had a couple of three-point shots that have been good looks that just haven't fallen for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they're only 5 of 23 now shooting the three ball, and Kentucky is only 1 of 8. Going to try again. This time is good. What a huge hoop. Briscoe. Boy, Cornette is playing well with 4 fouls. Drive, fouled. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, we said they had to make some three-point shots. They've had some open looks. Riley LaChance drives the middle. The defense steps in. It allows a wide open look, late closeout, and then Riley LaChance drives the middle. Almost has another opportunity for a three-point play. Nice game for Riley LaChance. I mentioned this in the first half. You don't see any teammates of Riley LaChance in there. They want to get back. This has been a strategy all game long to get back and try to force Kentucky out of scoring early in transition.
We've got a 3-point basketball game. 5.5 minutes here in Nashville. Briscoe drives through.
The answer is number 13 in blue. Every single time this building starts buzzing and you think Vanderbilt might get over the edge.
Roberson with the band's hands. Here comes Briscoe again. Number 13, not this time. Big trip for Vandy. Roberson makes it a successful one.
There's a wet spot on the floor, and Isaiah Briscoe slipped and fell on the wet spot. It was the reason why it was such an uncontested and clean look. And you watch, Isaiah Briscoe's right there on your screen. Watch as he comes out to the corner. He's going to slip. And as he goes down, same time, dribble penetration, backdoor cut. And there was nothing he could do there. Just slipped on the wet spot.
And Roberson makes it a 15-point night, his season high. Vandy trailing it by 3. Make it 5 on the drive by Fox.
I thought there was contact there and probably should have been an unwon opportunity. De'Aaron Fox so quick. Get in the rim. You see the difference between the first half and second half. That's only based on minutes played.
Fisher Davis has been quiet here for the last minute and a half. Comes gunning. Knocking down some seconds. Over the top. Monk kicks off the drive to Briscoe. Opportunity for Vandy again. Roberson, blocking foul. Roberson to the line.
Vanderbilt being aggressive at the offensive end of the floor. Manufactures some points. Trying to get them at the free throw line. That's where they'll be in their turn. But the answer, number 0 in blue. Number 13 in blue. They've been driving all night.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Your link to what's next.
Well, for Kentucky in the second half, De'Aaron Fox is the difference maker. He's limited to just 6 minutes in the first half. He's already played 15 here in the second half, and you look at the way he's scoring, the aggressiveness in which he is attacking. Coming off of a game where he had 27, he goes back-to-back 20-plus point games. It's his 6th 20-point game of the year, and his ability to get to the lane and be able to score in traffic has been a huge part of the Kentucky offense here in the second half.
Kaylee.
And here Fox is crediting this improvement you're talking about, Sean, to his time spent with Kenny Payne, the associate coach, and the conditioning that they've been doing before Kentucky even starts practicing. Payne will get him tired, he'll make his legs burn, and then he will challenge Fox to make shots under that duress. The result, Fox says now he's able to play at a higher level longer. You're seeing that late in game here.
10 of 15 from the floor. That's a big night. And at the other end, Roberson, 6 of 11, just added a free throw. So he has 16 points for the night. His season high, make it 2. He has played a whale of a game for Vanderbilt with 8 rebounds also. They're back to within 3. .13 gets it back. If it's not Fox, it's Briscoe.
He has 21 points and 7 rebounds. That was a big offensive rebound right there. Once again, quieting the crowd, being the answer when the building starts to get life.
Bingo! Huge Luke Cornett. Fox's turn. Not this time, but they get it back. Briscoe. 2 minutes now in a 4-point basketball game. Vanderbilt, a 12-point underdog, calls timeout. My friends in the desert remind me that even though they lose, Vanderbilt has been a tough competitor over their last 5 games.
Isaiah Briscoe, though, time and time again, understands his strengths as a basketball player, works his way back in after the miss and able to finish. Cornett at the other end, his strength has always been over the course of his career. His 3-point shot, didn't shoot it as well last year as he is this year. Much better. But then it's 13 in blue one more time, coming right down the lane. No backline help side rotation, and his ability to get in the paint and score, coupled with Fox in particular here in the second half, is why Kentucky has been able to maintain its lead.
And of course Cornett with 4 personal fouls. Willis with 4. Baptiste with 4. Let's take a look now at our Greatness Awaits, brought to you by PlayStation. And here is the upcoming schedule. Saturday, Kentucky, Auburn, and then next week we go to Starkville.
Yep, and everybody's been talking about the SEC. I think that South Carolina game is going to be really good on the 21st. Frank Martin's team playing well. Obviously, it's highlighted down at the bottom with Kansas. That's part of the Big 12 SEC Challenge on the 28th. But the big test is these games early, the margin of defeat in the SEC as Kentucky's was thumped their first couple opponents. Now it comes down to a mental approach, your mental toughness, your ability to execute at both ends of the floor here in the final 2 minutes.
the pull-up by LaChance off the dribble. It's a three. More than 1 point of the Kentucky Wildcats. And it's Fox's turn. It's either 0 or 13. Coming down to that 1 minute mark. A three would tie it. And a foul. Goes against Kentucky. It's against Fox.
Ryder LaChance realizes he has the bigger player on him. Bam backs up ever so slightly, giving the shooter enough space. And then the opposite end of the floor, De'Aaron Fox works the back line of the zone. Poor communication on the back line defensively for Vanderbilt. And a great dump down pass by Isaiah Briscoe.
Riley LaChance missed the chance. Young man from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Two-point game, and we're inside of a minute. Let's see what Calipari wants done here. Back to Fox. Dribbles it back out, takes time off. Now it's Monk. Been quiet most of the night. His biggest hoop of the evening. 83-79. Burnett's three, not there. Roberson underneath, keeps him alive.
Well, Kentucky executing down the stretch. Freshman making plays, having awareness. The ball gets thrown over the top, then they pass it back out to Malik Monk. He settles himself right inside the free throw line and hits the big shot. And at the opposite end, a rare second chance point opportunity, but not rare for number 11 to find his way into the scoring column once again.
Thursday night college basketball action. Notre Dame, Miami, ACC battle. Then at 9, two teams atop the American standings square off. SMU battles number 22 Cincinnati. Both games on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app. So Vanderbilt with 17.9 seconds remaining. They have hung tough in this game despite the great athletic ability of the Kentucky Wildcats, and you can't say enough for two Wildcats in particular, Briscoe and Fox.
Well, the key here too, remember, when you're looking at your screen, is there are no more timeouts for Vanderbilt. So what Coach Bryce Drew is talking to his team about is defensively, how they want to extend out their pressure, how they've got to foul quickly, and then he's also setting up his play for the offensive end of the floor, knowing that he will not have an opportunity to talk to his team on the way back down.
Well, his first 3 games against SEC competition, Calipari winning by an average of 23 points. That average is about to drop, despite the fact that they could well end up 4-0 in the SEC. 17.9 seconds remaining. There's the pressure being set up by the Commodores. Coach Drew.
The good thing they just made an adjustment because De'Aaron Fox was going to have a run out over the top if Briscoe wanted to throw it to him.
And a quick foul. 17 seconds on that clock. Joe Torre was the designated fouler. Remember, they've got 3 fellows with 4 fouls. And what they're going to do is they're going to send Cornette in and play offense, defense. He's one of the 3. So he comes in and Torre is out. Torre was sent out to commit the personal. And now Cornette returns.
Monk came into this game in the last 4, 19 of 21 from the free throw line. 1 of 2 tonight.
Here's the big one. two-possession game. Quick timeout. We'll see how fast Vanderbilt can get down and fire.
I think for Coach Cal, you're talking defensively right now. Where you want to pick up. You want to keep them on the outside. Obviously, you don't need to foul. You're up by 4. But you've got to be able to force them to use up some time getting the ball up the floor.
You know, one of the things we should give credit to Bryce Drew. Not a deep bench at all, but this team is improving with every game.
He feels like this team over even the last week has continued to get better. And when you give up 20 offensive rebounds and you lose on the road, you take a long bus ride, sometimes you got to do some soul searching. They've done the soul searching and they found themselves in a very aggressive state tonight. They've stuck to the game plan. They've tried to force Kentucky to not play with its usual tempo. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you can see that in various statistics. One to me that stands out is the fact that Kentucky has not had its normal share of assists. That's because they haven't been in the open floor playing freely because of the transition defense and awareness to get back by Vanderbilt.
Would you have a designated shooter here, Sean, or first open man for Vanderbilt?
First open man. Obviously, you'd like it to be Matthew Fisher-Davis if you could choose anyone out on the floor, though. Number 5. He's in the center of the court right now in the SEC logo.
Roberson to inbounds. Cornette back to help out, and they put it into LaChance's hands, and here we go. There's Fisher-Davis. Tap back, Kentucky. Open man. Here's the Monk, and he was going to dribble out the time. He is fouled. Kressler fouled him, and you know what's interesting in Monk's mind? As he curled down that baseline, what flashed, I can attack the rim again. And he said, I don't think I want to do that again. So here's the miss at the other end. Now watch the Monk. Will I do it? No, I'm going to run the seconds down.
Well, the bigger thing was Monk kind of got up and gave a little bit of a look, and then great leadership by Isaiah Briscoe. Put his arm around the freshman, pull him away. 2.2 seconds left to go. You've got a 4-point lead. The officials are going to take a look at this one. Very little play for the ball, to be honest with you, partner. As he comes down, he just kind of runs right through him.
Kind of curled into him, though, in my opinion. You know, in slow motion, you're going to see this entirely differently. Kressler's coming right straight down the middle of the floor. Monk curls, and I'm not sure that Kressler could have done anything, Sean, on that. Let's take a look.
I just think he was off balance. And a little bit of a push from behind. That's one of the things the officials always look at when a player gets contact from behind as they're going towards the basket, even if he's curling out. I don't think they're going to add anything more to this, but number 5 is going to be at the free throw line. And they called it a regular foul.
Thanks to the officials for coming over. That always helps, Sean. They dropped by the crew here tonight. Orlandis Poole, Joe Lindsay, Ron Groover. They didn't add anything to it, so Monk will come up to the free throw line. And the Kentucky Wildcats are going to head back to Lexington 4-0 in the SEC. You know, one of the things I want to say about my buddy Calipari, it is not easy coaching one and done. It's fun to watch, but every year his staff and himself, they've got to do a lot of hands-on coaching. I mean, these guys have to. That's why he preached about what Clemson did last night. Hang together, get better. And when Clemson fell behind, he told the kids, you got to do that when things are tough. And it was here tonight. It got a little tough against Vandy. And this Kentucky team hung together. They've got a terrific future. They're now 4-0 in the SEC. A 6-point win for the Kentucky Wildcats, 87-81. Thanks for joining us. Now, let's get you out to Dan Schulman, Dan Dockage, Molly McGrath, College Park, Indiana, Maryland. So long, everybody.